My name is Peter Howell. I'm in the Department of Experimental Psychology at University College London, and one of my principal interests is in speech and hearing processes in general. I got interested in stuttering accidentally when I started looking at sensory motor processes in fluent speakers' speech control. And I discovered that if you give to people who stutter a frequency-altered version of their speech as they're speaking, then their fluency control dramatically sort of improves. This technique is used in a number of prosthetic devices right the way through the world these days, particularly sort of marketed through the US. It led me on to investigate stuttering in general, and being in an experimental psychology department, I do some work on neuroscientific sort of aspects of stuttering. So, for example, we've done work on the genetics of stuttering and also scanning work with people who stutter as well to see how their brain operates when they're being fluent or when they're being disfluent as well. We've just been awarded some money to buy some NIRS equipment which will allow us to extend the work that we're doing in scanning the brains of people who stutter. Some of the things we've recently been doing is to explore vibrotactile aids and see how they impact on fluency. Also, how we can treat the anxiety of people who stutter. And finally, we're also using a brain stimulation technique called transcranial direct current stimulation as an adjunct to conventional treatments as well. It's been found very effective with aphasic patients, but hardly explored at all with people who stutter. We're working in schools, and we're trying to sort of identify which children have speech difficulty. We've been working on this for about 4 years now, and it's proven quite successful. That's not to say it hasn't sort of raised some challenges. A lot of children in schools these days, around about 40% in the schools that we work with, don't speak English when they enter school, and some of the features in their speech can appear a bit like stuttering. So, for example, if they can't find a word, they'll often repeat something prior to that word. If they can't say a book, they may say a, repeat that word, which some people think sounds like stuttering. We think it's important for schools to be able to identify which children have speech difficulties, because they're ideally placed to sort of identify the children in the first place, but also potentially to sort of offer them some early intervention as well. We know that early intervention is very efficacious, and we're trying to sort of get the schools to work with speech language therapists to deliver those sorts of treatments. In the long term, we'd expect that to improve their education, the educational outcomes of children who are having problems, and also in terms of job opportunities and quality of life.